Did you know that adultery was once considered a criminal offense in India and you could actually go to jail for it? Well, not anymore. With a groundbreaking Supreme Court ruling, adultery under Section 497 of the Indian Penal Code has been decriminalized. But why was this change made? And what does it mean for Indian society today? Stick around and we'll unpack it all. Adultery under Section 497 of the IPC used to be a serious legal offence in India. This law, dating back to the 19th century, was rooted in colonial era thinking. It treated women as the property of men and punished only the man involved in adultery if he engaged in a relationship with a married woman without her husband's consent. However, in a landmark case, 2018 case, the Supreme Court of India declared this law unconstitutional. This decision wasn't just about adultery, it brought to light critical issues like gender equality, personal freedom, and individual rights under the Constitution. Here's an outline of what we are going to discuss. First, overview of Section 497 IPC and why it was controversial. 2. The Supreme Court's 2018 judgment and its implications. 3. What to do if your rights are violated under similar grounds. 4. Recent updates and perspectives on decriminalizing adultery. Let's start by understanding what Section 497 was and why it needed a change. Before the 2018 ruling, Section 497 of the IPC had a very distinct stance on adultery. Section 497 defined adultery as an offence where a man could be prosecuted for having a relationship with a married woman without the consent of a husband. The law, however, was silent on the accountability of women. They could not be punished even if they were active participants. This led to strong criticism over the years as the law ignored the concept of gender equality and autonomy. Here are the key points of Section 497. First, only men could be prosecuted. 2. Married women were viewed as property of their husbands. 3. Adultery was criminalized without focusing on the principles of equality. This law, critics argued, violated basic human rights and individual freedom as outlined in Article 14, 15, and 21 of the Constitution, which safeguard equality and the right to personal liberty. This 2018 judgment by the Supreme Court was a game changer in redefining personal freedom and gender equality in India. In Joseph Shine versus Union of India, the Supreme Court decriminalized adultery by declaring Section 497 unconstitutional. This judgment came after decades of public debate and progressive legal reasoning. The court's decision was unanimous, with a 5-judge bench noting that the law was outdated, patriarchal, and violated fundamental rights. The reason for the court's decision was, first, equality for all. The court emphasized that Section 497 did not treat men and women as equals, violating Article 14. 2. Violation of personal liberty. The law infringed upon individual liberty and autonomy under Article 21. 3. Social morality versus constitutional morality. Chief Justice Dipak Misra, in his opinion, stressed that social morality should not infringe upon constitutional morality. The court held that personal choices in relationship could not be controlled by the state. Justice Indu Malhotra pointed out that while adultery could be grounds for divorce, criminalizing it was a misuse of state power. The court also held that the law perpetuated stereotypes that were inconsistent with modern views of gender equality. So, what changed after the Supreme Court ruling? How has the court reacted to this decriminalization? First, adultery is not a crime, but adultery is no longer a criminal offence but is still valid grounds for divorce under Indian personal laws. 2. empowerment of women's rights. The judgment was hailed as a step towards gender justice, empowering women by treating them as individuals with agency. 3. Personal freedom. This ruling emphasized that marriage is a private matter and the law has no place in penalizing personal relationship unless they can cause harm or infringe upon someone else's rights. While some argued that this move could harm the sanctity of marriage, the court clarified that the judgment aimed to balance individual freedoms with the right of married partners. So, what if you feel your rights in a relationship are being compromised? Here are some practical steps to understand your rights. First, understanding grounds for divorce. Adultery may still be used as a reason to seek divorce. 2. Seek legal advice. If your personal rights feel infringed upon, consulting a lawyer can help you clarify the legal standing. 3. Domestic violence and mental harassment protections. If an extramarital affair leads to domestic issues, the Domestic Violence Act of 2005 offers protection and redressal mechanisms. 4. Mediation and counseling. Family courts in India often recommend counseling or mediation as the first step in marital conflicts. Understanding your rights can empower you to make informed choices, whether you're considering divorce or simply seeking guidance on personal matters. The story doesn't end with decriminalization. There are discussions about recriminalizing adultery in a gender-neutral way. First, BNS and ongoing discussions. Recently, some groups have advocated for recriminalizing adultery with a focus on making it a gender-neutral offense. This proposal seeks to address any potential abuses by either partner without reintroducing outdated notions. 2. Current status. While there is no law on recriminalizing adultery yet, ongoing discussions reflect a balance between protecting individual rights and upholding the sanctity of marriage. 3. Views of judges across India. Many judges have noted that decriminalization does not encourage adultery but respects personal freedoms, reinforcing the idea that the law should not dictate personal relationships. Let's recap the key points we covered today and reflect on how this impacts all of us. First, Section 497 was a colonial era law criminalizing adultery biased against men. 2. The 2018 Supreme Court ruling decriminalized adultery, emphasizing equality and personal freedom. 3. Adultery is still a ground for divorce but is no longer punishable by law. 4. There are ongoing discussions around possibly recriminalizing adultery as a gender-neutral offense. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and let us know in the comments what legal topic you want us to cover next. Take care. Bye.